Today, we're gonna do a review. If you ask me to sell any car in my garage, everything has a price. But this is something I cannot put a price on. I'll be honest with you, I got this car for right under. What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Horsepower Cartel. Today we're gonna do a review. A lot of you guys are like, yo, you don't do any more reviews. You know, we really enjoy them. So today we're gonna do a review, and we're actually gonna start with ownership review. Actually, we're gonna start with doing some of my own cars, and we're gonna start with the LX470, my 4-year ownership review. It's almost been 4 years. I got it in October of 2000, end of October of 2020, right when lockdown was going on, and I'm loving it ever since. So let's dive into it and talk about my experience with the car. So this here is a 2003 LX470 V8 petrol. Let me give you a backstory on why I got this car. So I used to have a Prado before this. I always thought I should have one SUV. Especially in these Mumbai streets, you gotta have an SUV. You gotta have one SUV at least at home. Yeah, I had a Prado. I had a 1997 Toyota Prado V6 petrol. Again, it was fun. You know, I went ahead and put a off-roading ARB front bumper, and it was already lifted with the TRD suspension. Had some nice TRD upgraded wheels and some what's it called? AT tires on it. It was pretty badass, as you can see. Fully matte black, tinted up. It looked like something from ISIS would own. I don't know how I got away with driving that thing around, but now these days, there's no way. And that car is in Kerala somewhere, still matte black, but I guess the tints are taken off now, I guess. But anyways, I really liked SUVs, and I'm like, I need to get another one. I still remember 4 years ago during lockdown, I was on my way back from Lonavala with my buddy Imran. You guys know Imran. Imran had a V8. We took his V8 petrol LX470 to Lonavala, and on the way back, he's like, he felt tired, so he's like, yo, Santi, why don't you drive? When I drove it, I immediately was like, yo, I need to buy one of these things right now. And one thing Imran said was, listen, this is the best car you'll ever buy, and you'll probably never get rid of it. That's why he still owns a Land Cruiser, and he still continues to shuffle Land Cruisers throughout his garage, whether it's a Land Cruiser or a Lexus LX470. He keeps continuing to get one because honestly, these are really cool cars. Now, me being a car enthusiast, being in the scene for a while, I always wondered why people in Dubai or in the Middle East rule, you always see these people, the sheikhs and everyone, they're just driving it around, and you're like, yo, they have like the G-Wagons, brand new G-Wagons, Range Rovers, and all these cars like as the patrol car or their car for their security or their whatever managers and assistants, but they themselves will be in a 100 series, believe it or not, which they completely restore from the ground up and still continue to use till today, or even the newer Land Cruisers. And I just never got that. And then it's just one of those things, until you own one, you won't know. So now here I am 4 years later almost, and I'm owning one, and I'm loving it. Honestly, if you ask me to sell any car in my garage, everything has a price. But this is something I cannot put a price on. And it's not about money, it's about my bond with this car. I really love it. I literally spend a lot of hours and days in this car because obviously Mumbai traffic's not that good. If I have to go somewhere, this is the weapon of choice because this is the most comfortable thing. I remember I barely slept for like an hour and a half, and then we drove to Goa, 8-9 hours straight. I was one to drive, and I wasn't tired at all. And honestly, once we got to Goa, we're like, okay, we're gonna we were fresh. We were like, yo, let's go out and do things, you know? And yeah, it was like the first road trip I took in this car. I mean, we have done little road trips here and there, you know, Lonavala plenty of times, Pune as well. So, I mean, but, you know, not Goa anymore. But this car's never left me stranded other than the one time on the way back from Goa. But that was when I first got the car and I was, you know, just fixing the nicks and knacks. And a lot of old parts were, like the coolant hose, one of the coolant hoses gave out. And that's why we had to, you know, it was overheating and we had to ship it back to Mumbai through a flatbed and hop into my friend's cars. Luckily, my friends were there or we would have been really messed up. But anyways, that's taken care of. Ever since then, the car, touch wood, has never left me stranded. Even if it was a misfire from a bad coil pack or a spark plug, it still got me through. So I've done a little bit of I've done a lot of preventive maintenance on this, and I spare no expenses when it comes to this car because this is my baby. I love this thing, you know. And shout out to my boy Kurt out in Santa Cruz. He's the best Toyota technician. I'm so grateful for him because he really made me love this car more than I already did, and he gives me that confidence to keep on working on this car and keep this car in general, because as long as I have him, I have nothing to worry about. He'll always take care of it. And touch wood, ever since, you know, I've known him, every problem he said, like, say for example, I have a problem, I call him, he diagnoses it on the phone, he's like, don't worry about it, I'll take care of it. You know, it's good to have a guy like that, especially in this country. And he's so good with what's it called, when it comes to labor and parts, real reasonable. Sometimes I feel bad, Kurt, I hope you're not watching this. Sometimes I feel bad to pay him because I'm like, yo, I was expecting a higher bill, but it was actually less. And he's a very honest guy. But anyways, I'll plug his Instagram down below, or you could just look him up. His workshop name is Speedway. You could Google him and check him out. He doesn't really have an Instagram page for his work. He's a real low-key guy. But if you're looking to buy an LX or an older Toyota, any help you need, please send it to him. And honestly, this is not a plug-in from him. He never told me to do this. I'm just doing this because honestly, that's how much I love this car, and he's really taking care of it. Let's get back in the LX. V8 petrol, 4.7, makes about 230 horsepower. I don't even know how much torque. It's got the hydraulic suspension, 4x4. So, as you can see, the car was on its lowest setting and I raised it all the way back up. Now this car has a hydraulic suspension, and it goes by, you know, pumping hydraulic fluid and adjusting the pressure and dampening it accordingly. Show you the 4 settings that this car has for the suspension, which is pretty cool and so ahead of its time. So here are the buttons for the suspension, the height control, as you can see. Sorry, it's a little dirty and dusty right now as I use this car every day. So you got 4 settings for the suspension, as you can see. You got Comfort, Comfort Plus, you got Sport, and a Sports Plus. And trust me, on the fly, this thing adjusts really good. So when I get on the highway, I put this thing in Sport or Sport Plus, and it stiffens up, and it becomes so good on the turns, and the body roll is so much better. You can actually turn off the height control as well, so it doesn't adjust or self levels while you're driving. This is to control the height as well, if you want it on high, neutral, or low. Also, whenever you have multiple passengers in here, and you know, when they get off, the car will lower or raise accordingly. So it's pretty cool. It's kind of freaky as well if you're not used to it, because you're just like, you're looking at the engine bay and suddenly the front is just dropping or raising up. It's crazy. So I'm gonna go ahead and lower the car all the way back down to low. So now the car is at low, and you obviously can't drive around like this. It does look cool, so when you park up, you can lower it and it looks pretty badass. After you go above 20, I think, it starts raising up. And then if you have it on the highest settings, if you go above 40, it starts to come down. The highest setting is obviously meant for off-roading use. The lower level is to actually get through parking garages or really low enclosures where you can't get through. I've actually used it once when I went to my friend's building and they had this low AC unit, and just to park underneath, my car doesn't have roof railings luckily, so just to park underneath, I lowered it and I drove right underneath, and it was like a distance of probably this much. That's it. So it was pretty risky, but we got it done and got it parked. So yeah, pretty cool feature. Now let's hop inside and I'll show you some more features of this car. All right, so some cool features in this car. A lot of cool features. By the way, after owning it for almost 4 years, I finally got the sunroof to work. It works. It makes a lot of noise, but it works. Another cool feature I want to talk to you guys about is the build quality of this car. It's just not a feature. The build quality of this car in general is so nice. Like, it's leather everywhere, leather door cars, real leather, by the way. Seats are real leather, none of that vegan crap. And even the A-pillars all the way around are all leather. You see this? See the touch points? It's got a proper dashboard, none of that plastic stuff. This is not leather, but it is some kind of nice material. Real leather over here, like I mentioned. Some wear over here, but it's okay. But we got some real leather over here, real leather over here. Another cool feature that I want to talk about, which is an add-on on these newer cars, are these dual sun visors. Dual sun visors from factory, which, like I said, is an extra add-on. And it's pretty helpful if you go to see with the sun hitting you from all directions. Obviously, it has on this side as well. So, really cool. I'll let you guys know about that as well. Obviously, being an off-roading car, it does have a diff lock, so you can lock the diff as well. And that's my little horn over here for my extra horn I got put on. And here it is. Here's another button for locking the diffs as well. So pretty cool features ahead of its time, which is still relevant. And a lot of new cars don't have these things. Let's take a look. I obviously don't use my infotainment system anymore as a rule. I don't use this infotainment system anymore. The screen's been like this since I've got it. I've not decided to put a Tesla screen.
You just learned some Japanese.
This whole thing. It's in Japanese too, so I basically took an English version and took a picture, and I just know where everything is. So don't judge me. I just like the originality of this, and I don't want to mess around and mess it up. So I left it the way it is, because if you get the Tesla screen, and God forbid your Chinese Tesla screen stops working, you're going to be without AC. So I just left this in there. I know where everything is. I need to press this to turn the AC. I turn the AC off, turn it on. All I got to do is just press low, you know, medium, medium, medium high, and then high. You know, I know where everything is. Over here is your controls, what it would be for your face, your foot in your face, your defroster, all that good stuff. So, which you don't really need. It doesn't snow in Mumbai at least. And you don't need a defroster because this thing's pretty good. Big windows, so you're good. So anyways, your infotainment. So obviously you don't need this, you know. So I got my phone holder here. Pretty ghetto. There's a button here to raise and lower the antenna, which I don't have anymore. So when you do turn off the car, you hear like a weird sound, which I thought was my suspension, but was actually the antenna lowering, you know. So here are the other buttons for the defroster, by the way. Also, if you want to turn on the rear AC, there's a button for it over here, and you'll hear it in a sec. And it's always on high by default. I don't know why. And the controls are over there somewhere. I got to get in the back and show you. But as you can see over there in the corner, right there, are the controls. You got AC vents all around. You got some in the back as well in the third row. So it's pretty cool. This car is 7-seater, so it does have a third row, which I don't use. I don't like having people back there.
I've sat there once. It's comfortable though.
Yeah, it's pretty comfortable. I could sit back there.
And there's that window thing, right?
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. See, more features. It's also got these things I'll show you in a sec, where the rear windows on the third row, they actually tilt and open up, which is pretty cool. You know, a lot of these cars don't have it. I think the GLS, Mercedes GLS, is the only one of the few cars to have it. Correct me if I'm wrong. There's probably a lot more other cars, but you know, this is one of the cars that I know that has it for sure. I don't know about the new GLSs, but I know the older ones did, or the new ones do and the older ones didn't. I don't know. I'm not sure. The controls for the rear windows I was talking about, that vent open and stuff. Extra switch over there on the right lights because, you know, it's an off-roading car. Maybe you want to add some lights or something, maybe a siren, you know, whatever you need. As you can see, my infotainment screen is messed up. I don't want to use a Bluetooth transmitter, so I went ahead and, Ruel, why don't you open up the glove box? That's where my sound system is. Sorry for the mess, but that's where my sound system is. It's hardwired to, you know, go through the speakers and stuff, and I just control the volume from my phone. It's not that big of a deal, you know. It's just it's a little inconvenience, you know, because I have to like go on my phone and pause the music or lower the volume, but it's okay, you know, to maintain. I could actually cut out a piece from here and just put that in there, but I don't want to ruin the look of this, you know. This looks really nice and elegant and stock, so I just left it. This car has a lot of ashtrays. There's one here, and then there's two on the back doors as well. We'll show it to you in a bit. Yeah, this car also has a fridge in here. Cool box, normal and max. Also, the CD changer is here, which I have never used and will never use. Here is a holder for your glasses. I went ahead and put in some LED lights for the dome lights. Got some here too. Okay, this doesn't want to work right now. Yeah, here we go. I think this one stopped working. Anyways, yeah, I went ahead and put some ambient lighting too, as you can see, all around, just to, like, you know, modernize it a bit. Yeah, memory seats are here too, but I don't use them, and I don't think it works really. So my power mirror, folding mirrors don't work either. They adjust and stuff, but they don't fold. So I guess it has to do something with this, probably, you know, the same module or something that needs to be repaired, which I didn't really use. I didn't really care about it. Tilt and telescope steering wheel on power, which is pretty cool, you know. Believe it or not, I was talking to my buddy who has a Urus, and he was telling me it's an option in a Urus. It's not standard. You have to, in the Urus, if you have to, when I say Urus, whatever, Urus, in the Urus, if you want tilt and telescopic power, it's an 8 lakh option. Obviously, you get some other packages, you get some other stuff in that package as well. But what do you think, 8 lakhs just for that, or you'll have the normal, you know, manual adjustable? But anyways, this car had it. You know, not comparing this with the Urus. If you guys are gonna, you know, bash me in the comments, oh, can you compare it? But I'm just saying, a lot of these features are standard on these cars, where on the newer cars, it's an option. It sucks. So yeah, let's talk about the outside. One way to distinguish this from a Land Cruiser to a Lexus is that the Land Cruiser had one tailgate, where this one has dual opening trunks. And there's no spare tire. If anyone wants to make fun of me, like, oh, you put a woofer there, you don't have a spare tire. The spare tire is underneath, by the way.
Oh yeah.
You never do that, Roll?
No.
The spare tire is over there. That's a Tanabe exhaust that came with the car, which is pretty cool. They don't make that exhaust anymore. It's a great brand, by the way.
Remember we put my bike over here?
We also fit Roel's bike over here, as you can see. I'll show you guys a picture of that. Also, this is a huge car, so I had to go ahead and install a backup camera. Luckily, I got a OEM replacement, which goes right in the license plate lights. So it's annoying because when you go to hotels and malls and stuff, they want to check your trunk, and instead of bending down and looking for it, they always end up hitting my camera. So it's been knocked out a few times, but I always warn them now. I'm like, you knock out my camera, I'm gonna knock you out. So as you can see, Lexus LX470. This is actually a Toyota Cygnus. Lexus wasn't around in Japan back in the day. It's an American brand. Fun fact, Lexus stands for Luxury Export US. If you guys didn't know. Roel, did you know that?
No.
Well, now you know. You're 2 years old. So that's why it was made in America and then exported, obviously, or rebadged in America and sent over. As you can see, the luxury version of a Land Cruiser in Japan was a Toyota Cygnus. That's why when you see my steering wheel, it says Toyota. The door sills say Cygnus on it. But when these cars were imported, the dealers made a lot of money, you know, selling the L package to customers, and all they would do is just rebadge it in Japan. I luckily got this car with a really nice body kit. I don't know what kind of body kit it is, but it's pretty cool. It's definitely a one of one, because I haven't seen this kit on any other Lexus. Oh, I've seen this kit. I've seen the kit on Lexus. No, you're not seeing this one. Trust me, it's quite unique, and it's very different from the other ones. It also came with this rear spoiler, and it's definitely needed on these cars. A lot of Lexus LX470s have the rear spoiler, but like I said, they don't have the kit. definitely makes it look better. So the first thing I did when I got this car was remove that ugly matte black wrap. I'll give it a nice polish, and then I went ahead and threw some 18-inch wheels from the 200 series. That was the first thing. You know, with my cars, the first thing I always do is usually put wheels on. So I had to do it on this car. Threw on the 18-inch wheels, which fit perfectly on there, and it increased the size. Some of them come with 16s, some of them come with 17s. Mine came with 17s, but I upsized 1 more inch and went with the 18s. I went ahead and threw some all-terrain tires on there too. Gives it a rugged look, and it's pretty good. You know, you could go off-roading with it if needed, and it's kind of noisy at high speeds, but it's okay. You know, this is a cruiser anyways. It's not meant to go fast. So this car was actually silver when it was imported, but then the previous owner painted a beautiful maroon paint job. It looked really nice. A lot of people are like, oh, you should have just left the maroon, but I wanted to do something different and really showcase the amazing body lines on this car. I feel like the dark maroon was kind of hiding it, but now
It's also like make it look outdated.
yeah, it looked a little outdated, and it wasn't really catching people's attention, but you know, not that I care. So I went ahead and did Designo Desert Sand. We did the S-Class first, and then we're like, you know, let's match up the whips. So there we go. There it is. You know, we went ahead and did Designo Desert Sand. Thanks to my buddy Akshay Dubey at Redline Auto House. You know, always doing a good job with his paint jobs. That's it. I mean, this car is perfect. If I was you guys, I would definitely look for one, because these are already going crazy. I'll be honest with you, I got this car for right under 10 lakhs. I probably have about 5-6 lakhs into it, and I'm happy. But if you go to buy a nice one in really good condition, you're looking around 18 to 20 lakhs easy. And if you want a newer gearbox, you're looking northwards of 20 lakhs, way north. So I would definitely get one while you can, while the prices are somewhat decent before the prices go back up. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed that vlog. Let me know which car I should do next, whether it's the M3 or the E-Coupe. The E-Coupe is for sale, by the way. If you guys want, DM me. If you guys are interested, DM me. Let me know. Yeah, we're either going to do the M3 or the E-Coupe next. Let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you guys soon.
I'm sure people will ask, how much does this give on mileage?
Oh yeah, how could I forget? This car gives about, I would say 3 in the city, 3.5, and on the highway about 6-7 max. Yeah, for sure. Anyways, I'll see you guys soon. Like, subscribe, and share.